Mabuhay! Isang mainit na pagbati po sa ating mga kababayan dito sa New York, dyan sa Pilipinas at saan mang panig ng mundo. Sa buwang ito, ibigay po namin sa inyong mga kwento tungkol sa mga sakripisyo at pagsisikap upang makilala po ang lahing Pilipino dito sa Amerika sa larangan ng edukasyon, public service, journalism, culinary at arts. Ako po si Ethel Cantor Constantino. Mga kabayan, saan ka man makarating, isigaw, I am Pinoy, proud ako! I am Pinoy!
Sa araw na ito, bibisitahin natin ang nag-iisang Filipino school sa New York at New Jersey. Gaano nga ba kahalaga ang eskwelahan na katulad nito para sa mga Pinoy sa Amerika? Ma-inspire naman po tayo sa kwento ng isang cancer survivor at dating diplomat na ngayon ay nagsisilbi sa kapwa niya senior citizens. Si Tita Consuelo Almonte at ang Pag-asa Social Foundation Incorporated kaus-pusong umaalalay sa mga elderly Pinoys ng New York. Samantala, mamangha sa isang Pinoy flair bartender na gumagawa ng ingay sa East Coast. Sa kanyang talento, kuha niya ang atensyon ng kanyang mga customer, Pinoy man o dayuhan. At kilala rin naman po natin ang isa rin nating kababayan at kasamahan sa trabaho na nasa likod ng Awesome Online magazine. Mula sa nakasinayang Bad News is Good News, positive journalism naman ang tinututukan ngayon ni Mariver Montubon. At syempre pa, isa na namang kwento mula sa Midwest ang ating papanoorin kasama si Connie Macatula de Leon ng Chicago, Illinois. Balita ko isang king ng Broadway musical show na Miss Saigon ang kanyang nakapanayam. At ipapakita rin namin sa inyo ang mga proyekto at programa na sinuportahan ng I Am Pinoy, proud ako nitong mga nakaraang araw. Bigay todo sa kanilang practice ang mga estudyante ng The Filipino School of New York in New Jersey. Sa tulong ng kanilang guro na si Vanessa Manzano, inaasahan na sa loob ng ilang araw ay matutunan ng mga kabataan ito ang sayaw na sakuting, isang folk dance mula sa lalawigan ng Abra.
Children to just stay in roots with their culture, you know, however little it may be, at least to know that they are Filipino, living in the American society, but not to forget that.
Ang pag-aaral ng mga katutubong sayaw ay isa lamang sa maraming paraan upang lalo pang makilala ng mga Filipino-Americans ang sariling lahi at kultura. Ito ang layunin ng The Filipino School of New York in New Jersey na itinatag noong 2008 ni Vanessa Manzano, isang Phil-Am na ipinanganak sa Hawaii at lumaki naman sa Massachusetts. Ang kanyang mga magulang na sina Ben at Tessie Manzano ay mula sa Cavite, Philippines.
So around the time I was settling down with my husband, and a lot of my friends were already having families of their own. So thinking for the future of our own children, you know, one of the things we'd like them to learn is, you know, their heritage, the language, the culture. And I realized there's no school without nothing dito sa New York, New Jersey.
Kasama ang kanyang asawa na si Mark Habana at ang tatlong mga anak na sina Xavier, Natalie at Julian, mga kaibigan at pamilya. Sinikap nilang mapalago ang paaralan na noon ay nagsimula lamang sa may 6 na estudyante. Di lumaon ay umabot na ito sa bilang na 100 matapos buksan ang ilan pang sangay ng paaralan.
So one thing I've learned, instead of having our own building, which is great, yung mga Filipino dito sa area nito, they're spread out. So it's not feasible for us to go and to have a building and have people come to us. We won't succeed that way. I believe that we should go out to to the community wherever there is need.
Ang The Filipino School of New York and New Jersey ay matatagpuan sa Manhattan, Jackson Heights sa Queens at Staten Island sa New York, habang nasa Bergenfield at Jersey City naman sa New Jersey.
Growing up, my dad always told us, regardless kahit nandito kami sa US, you'll always be Filipino by blood. So people will look at you, your color. You might believe that you're white or American, pero always remember where you're from. With that, he also brought us back to the Philippines almost every summer. Also, I got close to my grandmother in Bulaco on his side. So one year, I remember, I believe it was she was left with us in the summer, me and my brother, pero she doesn't know how to speak English. My father was hoping that she will learn English. Ako naman, na nabaliktad, I actually learned how to speak.
At tulad ni Vanessa, hangad rin ng isang magulang na si Richie Escobiñas na lalo pang mamahalin ng kanyang mga sariling anak na sina Antonio at Angelina ang pagiging Pilipino.
They're very hesitant about speaking. And hopefully something like this will make them feel more comfortable with it, speaking and being.
Maliban sa mga kabataan, nagtuturo rin sila ng Filipino language sa mga maedad at maging sa mga interesadong dayuhan.
Not only are we teaching them things from the Philippines, we hope that whatever they learn here, or wherever they are, they can bring it back. Make the Philippines give back. And we like to open our networks wider outside of the Filipino community. We want to bring the Filipino school to local schools, to non-Filipinos, as part of the curriculum or for courses or after-school courses.
At para po sa inyong suporta at tulong sa nag-iisang paaralan ng mga Pinoy sa East Coast, maaari po kayo makipag-ugnayan sa The Filipino School of New York and New Jersey sa mga sumusunod na impormasyon. Masaya ang naging pagtitipon ng mga musikero ng New York at New Jersey kamakailan lamang. Ang ginanap na East Coast Musician Annual Gathering ay dinaluhan ng mahigit 50 musikero at ng kanilang mga kaibigan. Siyempre pa, may tugtugan at kainan na talaga namang ikinatutuwa ng lahat, maging ng mga kapitbahay ng host na sina Jessie at Digna Duma ng New Jersey. Ang okasyon ay pinamumunuan ng veteranong musikero na si Boy Diaz. Ang pagiging bartender ay di birong propesyon. Hindi lamang lawak ng kaalaman pagdating sa alak at samot-saring klase ng mga inumin ang kailangang matutunan. Mahalaga rin ang malawak na pag-unawa sa mga taong nakakahalubilo sa araw-araw, lalo na sa oras na sila ay nakakainom na. Ito ang napiling propesyon ni Ram Ong, laking tondo, na nagtapos bilang isang scholar sa kursong Hotel and Restaurant Management, major in Culinary Arts sa St. Benilde, Lasal sa Pilipinas. Habang nasa college, nagsimula na siyang mag-aral ng flair tending, pinaglaan ng mahabang oras ang pag-ensayo.
I learned flair bartending when I was in college. I started frequenting the bar called TGI Fridays in Robinsons, Manila, where I made friends with a bartender named Larry. And from there, I started learning.
Ang flair tending ay sumikat noong dekada 80 sa pelikulang Cocktails and Dreams na pinagbidahan ng sikat na aktor na si Tom Cruise. Ito ay isang uri ng art of exhibition gamit ang mga bote at bar utensils na inihagis-hagis at pinapaikot-ikot habang ginagawa ang isang klase ng inumin. Ito ay nangangailangan ng oras, tiyaga at malawakang ensayo. Madalas, taon ang binibilang bago ito maging perpekto.
Before, I write the moves in a bar napkin because I don't have a camera phone that time, and I would just look at it, and then try to understand the move. Pag may nakita akong tao na nag-flare, and then siyempre hindi pa ako marunong Obserbahan ko lang. Tapos lalagay ko siya sa bar napkin. Lagayan ko siya. And then I will train 4 hours. I don't even stop. Like 10 to 12 hours a day. That was when I was in college.
Sa pinagsamang determinasyon, dedikasyon at walang kapagurang practice, naging bihasa si Ram sa flare tending. Taong 2005 ay nagsimula siyang sumali sa mga competition.
I realized that I was pretty natural about it. It was pretty good. So I started competing again, and then I realized that I can make a career out of it until I made it in America.
Noong 2009 ay nakuha niya rin ang first runner-up sa TGI Fridays World Bartending Championship sa Dallas, Texas, USA at 2011 naman nang manalo sa Shore Wars Bartending Competition sa New Jersey. Dito rin siya nakatanggap ng maraming alok upang magtrabaho dito sa Amerika.
You will get a lot of exposures. Like what I've mentioned earlier, you'll get job offers and you'll get to travel and meet interesting people. Yeah, you can meet celebrities, politicians, serving them. It's pretty cool.
Si Ram sa kanyang kabataan ay nakaranas din ng hirap sa buhay, pero di ito naging hadlang sa kanya, bagkus ito ay nagsilbing inspirasyon upang magsikap palalo at palaguin ang talentong ipinagaloob sa kanya.
My family inspired me. Back in the day when I was living my life, everything was great until early 2000. Our business closed, so we were forced to leave. Then, right from that moment, I started taking everything seriously. From my school, and then my job, and I've always wanted to come here and work. So, that inspired me to do work. I will take every competition very seriously. I will prepare a year ahead. I will scout.
Sa ngayon, plano ni Ram na magtayo ng isang charity bilang pasasalamat sa mga biyayang kanyang tinatamasa. Nais niya rin magtayo ng eskwelahan at magturo sa mga kabataan na nagnanais na maging tulad niya, nagsumikap upang makatapos at matulungan ang mga mahal sa buhay.
Teaching, yeah, I'm giving myself maybe another 3 to 5 years here in America. Or maybe I can go to the Philippines like once in a while and do some charity events.
Samantala, ito naman ang maipapayo ni Ram sa mga nangangarap na gawing career ang pagiging isang flair bartender.
I would practice, and then I will listen to myself, I will listen to my instincts, and then always have a goal. Kasi pag wala kang goal, nagpa-practice ka lang, hindi mo alam kung saan mo gagamitin yung skill, it's useless. So yeah, you have to be smart with your decisions.
Nagkaisa sa kanilang suporta at pagmamahal ang mga kapamilya at mga kaibigan ng drummer na si AJ Rojas ng Mix Band. Layunin ng fundraising show na makalikom ng pera upang maiuwi siya sa Amerika mula sa Barcelona, Spain, kung saan siya nagkaroon ng malubhang karamdaman. Nag-alay ng kanilang oras, kanta, donasyon at panalangin ang mga dumalo na ipinagpapasalamat naman ng kapatid ni AJ na si Veronica Rojas Cabe. Sa kanyang liksi, porma at maaliwalas na aura, di mo akalain na isa siyang cancer survivor. Ang 78 taong gulang na si Alan Consuelo Almonte, o mas kilala sa pangalan na Connie, ay isa ring dating diplomat. Nagtrabaho bilang assistant to the press minister ng Pakistan Mission to the United Nations dito sa New York sa loob ng may 43 taon. Samantala, sa gabi naman ay nagtrabaho si Connie bilang manager sa isang restaurant sa loob ng 15 taon. Sa kanyang 4 na dekadang serbisyo at dedikasyon sa bansang Pakistan, tinanggap nito ang Tamga Khidmat Meritorious Award, the 7th highest honor that can be given by the government of Pakistan to military persons at civilians. She also received a Medal of Appreciation from the President of Jammu and Kashmir at ang Lifetime Award of Excellence naman mula sa Pakistani League of America.
If you don't if you don't get anything without sacrifice, you will never value it. And this is what I always say. Even though you get something for nothing, doesn't mean anything.
Ngunit nang mag-retire nitong 2011, nag-iba ang daily routine ng buhay ni Aling Consuelo. Ang dating busy sa pagtatrabaho kasama ang mga dignitaries at mga miyembro ng media ay ngayon madalas na nasa bahay na lamang. Ito rin ang nararanasan ng maraming retired at senior Pinoy sa New York, ang mag-isa o kaya naman ay ang magbantay sa mga apo habang nasa trabaho naman ang mga anak. Ang resulta, ang ilan sa kanila ay nagkakasakit, nalulungkot o kaya naman ay umuwi na lamang ng Pilipinas.
There are three options when they become old. First, they will become a burden to their kids. Second, they will go back to the Philippines without medical help, with medical privilege that they have here. And third, they will go to the nursing home. They will be like a fish. Without water.
Ang Pag-asa, ang Filipino-American Group for Aging Seniors of America Social Foundation Incorporated, ay isang grupo ng mga elderly ng New York. Binuo ng founder na si Hector Logroño Jr. noong 2011. Layunin ng grupo na matulungan ang bawat isa at bigyan kulay at kahulugan ang kanilang buhay pagkatapos ng mahabang panahon ng pagsisikap para sa mga mahal sa buhay. Si Connie ang pinuno ng Pag-asa simula 2013. Sa pamamagitan ng iba't ibang activities ang inilalaan para sa kanila tulad ng legal forum, health fair, cultural events, games, field trips at iba pa ay nai-enjoy ng mga ito ang kanilang golden year.
Aging is not loneliness and be alone. It is a time when you can enjoy yourself. It's a time when you are carefree and be able to do things you want. You have no more that sense of responsibility. And also, but you have to look for it. The senior has to look for it. It cannot come to you. But Pag-asa is here for you.
At syempre pa, sa tulong ng mga individual at mga pribadong kumpanya ay naipagpapatuloy rin ni Connie kasama ang buong organisasyon ang kanilang misyon na tulungan ang mga kapwa senior citizens. Walong finalists ang naglaban-laban para sa pinakaunang club dancing singing competition. Nanalo bilang champion sa competition na ito si Fran Manligoy habang pumangalawa naman si Kissy Dumdum na sinundan naman ni Sandy Santilesis. Ang proyekto na nagdalayong makahanap ng mga bagong talento ay pinangunahan ng producer at businesswoman na si Delia Piloton. Kabilang naman sa premyo ng naturang contest ay ang round-trip airfare to the Philippines.
Mga kaibigan, sa pagkakataong ito, kasama po natin ang ating intern sa Ayang Pinoy Proud Ako. Walang iba kundi si Rian Avendula Phillips. Hi, Rian!
Hi, te!
Kamusta experience mo sa Ayang Pinoy Proud Ako?
Masaya naman po.
Ano yung pinaka-memorable so far?
Siguro when the Pope came in to visit, and I got the chance to ask people their reactions, and
You're doing great actually, anak. Anyway, sa pagkakataong ito naman po, hindi lang New York ang ating kakausapin, kundi maging ang ating kasamang si Connie Macatula de Leon kasi may kwento rin siya mula Chicago, Illinois. Hi, Connie!
Hi, Ethel! Hi, Rihanna! Mula naman dito sa Midwest, isang international shining star ang ibabahagi natin ngayong araw na ito. Tunghayan natin ito.
Siya si Shana Dagny. Isa sa kanyang mga pangarap ang maging international at tanyag na manganganta tulad ng kanyang idolo na si Lea Salonga. True enough, sa edad na 28 years old, natupad ng Tubong Cebu na si Shana ang kanyang mga pangarap. Siya ang pumapel na Kim, ang lead character sa Miss Saigon dito sa Illinois at sa Indiana. Bata pa lang nang mamulat si Shana sa kanyang talento sa sining, salamat sa theater school na pag-aari ng kanyang ina. Sa kabila ng kanyang exposure sa Pilipinas, napagtanto ni Shana nung siya'y manirahan sa ibang bansa nang ang pagkanta at pag-arte ay kinabibilangan ng tuloy-tuloy na pag-aaral at pagdidiskubre sa iyong kakayahan.
I took an acting class here in Chicago, not because I felt I needed it, because you don't, I mean, like I had a whole acting career, I didn't feel like I needed it. But when I went, there was so much I don't know about how to act or how to perform.
Just like anybody else na nakikipagsapalaran sa ibang bansa, success did not land on Shana's lap overnight.
What am I not doing? And sure enough, the thing you do when you don't know when you don't have the answers to anything, what do? You go online and you Google it. So I'm like, how to be an actress in the United States. And so that's what I did.
At gaya ng sabi nila, the rest is history.
I auditioned for several months and I didn't get a call back. Like, I wouldn't get the part. But soon enough, I did. And once you get hired, you have like a confidence boost. And so that helps you get other jobs.
Fire 2 warning shots into his head. He had it coming. He had it coming. He only had it.
Para kay Shana, bago pa man siya sumabak sa pag-arte sa entablado, pagiging TV commercial model, pagiging host at pag-voice over, nagtapos muna si Shana ng pag-aaral. Siya ay isang ganap na nurse.
It's always good to have a backup plan. Mine was nursing.
Ayon kay Shana, Hollywood at Broadway ang kanyang ultimate na pangarap. Ang kanyang advice para sa mga tulad niyang matayog ang ambisyon,
in acting or journalism or business or anything, is that you go to school to build connections and to get ideas that you would not come up with on your own.
At para sa kanya, ang secret ingredient for success ay focus, pagiging flexible, at ang failure. Yes, ang magkamali ay kasama sa sikreto para makamit mo ang iyong mga pangarap.
You have to aim to be the best in what you want to do. You don't really have to know what you want to do right away, because, how could you? You're starting out. There is so much to know about that particular craft that you will not find out unless you try and fail, try and succeed.
Kaya naman, bawat standing ovation ng audience, bawat palakpak at sigaw ng mga tao na nakakapanood ng kanyang mga performance, taas noo na ipinagmamalaki niya na siya ay Filipino sa puso, sa salita, at sa gawa. Connie Makatulad de Leon, I am Pinoy, proud ako, Chicago.
Colors and promises, how to be brave, how can I love when I'm afraid to...
I am Pinoy, proud ako. Journalism is like my blood, it's my passion and I love it so much, and I wish to do this until I'm not able to do this anymore.
Siya si Mariver Montibon, isang ina, journalist, activist at author mula sa Cebu City. Ang dating writer ng Freeman Magazine at C Magazine ay kasalukuyang publisher ng OSM o Awesome Online Magazine na nakabase sa New York City.
And it has a lot of readership already. I'm glad that it's being patronized. We are pushing for positive journalism. And my readers are 4 million. And the clicks are just mounting every time we put content.
Bata pa lamang ay mahilig nang magsulat ng mga kwento si Mariver kaya di kataka-taka na gusto niyang kumuha ng kursong journalism.
I went to college and I wanted journalism, but at that time it was the early 80s or the mid 80s, and the Philippines at that time was on a very critical period. There was a political turmoil. It was towards the end of the Marcos dictatorship. And so my father forbid me not to take journalism because I will be killed, he said. You will not go far in journalism, he said.
Sa halip, kursong accounting ay pinakuha sa kanya ng kanyang ama.
Because like, I'm so scared of math. I mean, why would I take accounting for Christ's sake? But I had to because you're young and you don't know what to do. So I did, and one semester, I was a failure. I was a total failure in accounting.
To compromise, Marivic took up psychology and graduated from San Carlos University. Bago pa tinutukan ang mga positibong balita sa ika nga mga bad news, umiikot ang buhay ni Mariver bilang manunulat sa loob ng mahigit 2 dekada. Napasabak sa ilang buhis-buhay na coverage tulad ng bakbakan sa pagitan ng mga rebelde at mga sundalo sa Bohol noon.
The most difficult that I will never forget is when I was writing about a feature story on abortion. That was most difficult.
Mula sa komplikadong usapin ng mga kababaihan hanggang sa masalimuot na diskusyon sa politika, ekonomiya at iba pang social issues, tiniyak ni Mariver na magagamit sa tama at may kabuluhan ang kanyang kakayahan bilang journalist.
Journalism, it's like your fulfillment is not really financial. First and foremost, it's more psychological. Psychological reward is amazing. So I'm not gonna exchange that for anything else.
Nang dumating sa Amerika, aminado si Mariver na hindi madali para sa katulad niyang journalist ang magtrabaho sa isang malaking media organization.
I realized that because of the America's own economic difficulties, the newsroom is not that lucrative anymore for journalists. In fact, there are so many journalists who have lost their jobs. And the digital age has been a welcome thing for me to create my own.
At dahil bukas na nga para sa kahit sino man ang pagsusulat, ito ang masasabi ni Mariver.
In terms of ethics, you know, ethics, whether it was 1800 years ago or in the 1800s or now, ethics is like a very personal thing for a journalist. It's up to her to define, like, would she be bribed? Would she be, what will she do to get information? To what extent is she going to get information? And to what extent is she going to earn? Because we all should earn. As writers, we have to feed ourselves as well, pay the bills and all that. These are very critical questions as posed as a journalist because journalism is power.
Samantala, 3 published books naman ang isinulat ni Mariver. Kabilang na ang libro na may titulong Retracing Our Roots, A Journey into Cebu's Pre-Colonial and Colonial Past, Beyond the Seed Money at ang Biting the Big Apple na tungkol naman sa kanyang buhay bilang manunulat at immigrant ng Amerika.
Freedom is sacred, but we have to be very responsible in creating our impact in our community and the world.
At yan po ang mga kwento na puno ng pag-asa, inspirasyon at aral. Hanggang sa susunod, maraming salamat po sa inyong patuloy na suporta sa ating programa. Para sa iba pang mga kwento mula rito sa Northeast America, please like, watch, and subscribe us on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. You may also email us on iampinoyproudako@gmail.com. Ako po si Ethel Constantino, mga kabayan, saan ka man makarating, isigaw, I am Pinoy Proud!